Hey, so what's going on with you and Jeff?
Oh, okay, so listen to this. So we're hanging out when suddenly he asks me if I want to play.
Really?
So we're getting into it, and I ask him about, precautions.
Obviously.
And he says, I don't do that.
Jeff.
So I said, sorry, I don't gamble without setting limits, and left.
You're so better off.
I know. Can you believe him?
No.
Well, as we just saw in that spot, taking precautions does make sense because unlike dinner and a movie, gambling is more than just entertainment. It's entertainment with a risk. It can be fun for lots of Canadians, but it can mean trouble for so many others. In fact, problem gambling affects 1 in 10 families. That's why it's important to understand the risks and be informed. So joining us today from the independent nonprofit Responsible Gambling Council is the Director of Awareness Programs and Communications, Barry Cohen-Butt. How are you?
Good, nice to be here.
Great, we're glad that you're here. Now, let's get to talking about this.
Sure.
A lot of people think that problem gambling could just lead to financial problems, but there's more to it than that, isn't there?
It's true. The Responsible Gambling Council has been in the problem gambling prevention business for about 30 years, and we've seen the impact that can have on relationships and finances, health, and even potential job loss too.
Oh, okay. Now, I know that there are precautions that people can take if they choose to gamble, so what are some strategies you can share with us that help make gambling safer?
Well, first of all, I would say don't think of gambling as a way to make money. And always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Never chase losses or trying to win back what you've already lost. Set a money and time limit, and it's really important. You got to stick to that. I'd say limit alcohol consumption when gambling, and I'd also say don't gamble when you're upset or you're stressed or depressed.
It's all about making smart choices.
It really is. We have this equation we like to think of it as. It's awareness of the risks associated with gambling, plus the knowledge of how to reduce that risk equals better decisions.
Definitely good to keep in mind. Now, Barry, I'll be honest with you, I would be thrilled if I won the lottery, but there's more to it than just having lucky numbers, isn't there?
It's true. It's really good to know the real odds of winning and losing. For example, in Lotto 649, the odds are about 14 million to 1 that you'll win the jackpot. Wow. And when it comes to slot machines, it can be up to 16 million spins before you potentially win that big win. And when it comes to Lotto Max, the odds are about 28 million to 1. Let me give you a sense of those remote numbers in a real sense.
Okay.
Imagine we had in front of us the New York City phone book, probably pretty thick.
Sure,
right?
thanks.
Imagine I have a friend of mine, and I want you to find them. I'm going to get you to open that phone book up. Put your finger in the phone book, and that's my friend.
And those are my chances.
Yeah, it's pretty remote.
Well, now, speaking of winning and losing, tell us about the Cost to Play app that you developed.
We've created this Cost to Play calculator. Essentially, it's a downloadable app for free from our website and from the iTunes Store, the Android Store, and the BlackBerry Store. And what this app does, it helps you learn what your game could be costing you over time. You enter the amount you typically would play or bet, along with the amount of time you spend. It will give you a realistic sense of how much it could be costing you.
Oh, it sounds very smart. Now, Barry, what should you do if you think you or someone you know has a gambling problem?
Well, there are some resources on our website, responsiblegambling.org, where you can go and you can learn how to speak to somebody you might suspect has a gambling problem. But there's also links to support organizations across the country that you can access locally.
All right. Well, you've given us a lot of great advice on how to prevent gambling problems. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
To learn more about safer gambling, go to responsiblegambling.org.